Manor Lords, I do love you. Right, this run's going to be just that little bit different, so I'm going to try and add a bit of spice to the situation. So come on along, grab your drinks and relax as I take on the challenge once more of becoming a Franconian leader with a twist. Let's get it. Well, hello everyone, and welcome yourselves into Manor Lords once more, where we now are going to take on the challenge of not allowing ourselves to use berries or hunters' cabins. Now, we are allowed to use pens for goats and pigs, and we will be allowed to use fish if we get them. But yeah, we will not be allowed to touch hunting or berries, and we're going to get that achievement to get to Large Town without using either. And we're going to go in, make something beautiful, but keep it nice and efficient, and go from there. All right, we are in. Let's pause it up. Let's zoom on out and see what we're working with. Oh, yes. Okay. We got a fish pond bang in the middle as well, actually. That's really cool. So we'll be... I like Woolbrand. That's okay. There's a little bit of fertile land, actually, on this one, isn't there, too? If I remember correctly, there is a small amount. Yeah, so we can farm, too, which is good without food. But yeah, food's going to be the thing here. We've got an infinite iron. We've got an infinite clay. So buying in some of the most expensive things isn't going to be a problem here. So I will unite you in my rule. We're going to get cracking pretty early on, though, and we're going to get the basics going, which will include fishing for food. And the main stuff is I do not care at all. We're not using you, so you do not matter to me. But I'm going to go ahead and get some roads in. I'm actually going to utilize the pond as a bit of a starting point, actually. So let's go ahead and get our marketplace in so I don't need to worry about it. And let's go with something... Market down by the river could be cool. Let's just go a little bit bigger. Let's go like that in there. And then what we'll do is basically just get in a little road like that. And then over here, this will be where we get our first beginning bits in. So I'll just go with the basics to start, guys, so we don't have to worry about it. I'll probably put the granary as close as possible to it, and then the storehouse here. Logging camp will go this side. Do not care at all about you, Mr. Hunter Camp. You can migrate all you want. There you go. It's now over there. Out of Temptation. We'll set this one as main priority. And just as I'm doing this, guys, I will say welcome yourselves in. I'm going to hit play really slowly. I really appreciate you. If you aren't already, please do consider subscribing. It's a massive help. And obviously, welcome in. Let's go ahead and get our fishing pond right by the water here. Oh, this is just... It doesn't get any more perfect. We're going to have fish from there straight to the granary. Granary will need to be high priority, but we want logging camp maximum. And then we're going to get just the usual. We're going to get our storehouse in on high. We'll go... Fisherman's hut doesn't need to be too fast. Granary wants very high, high on the storehouse, medium on the fisherman's hut, which doesn't need a marketplace. And then we can move into the other bits, which will be housing and planks. So one of the first things we're going to need, though, I'm going to do this slightly differently, and that's going to be a bit of trading. So once we've got all these kind of buildings done, we can get into that, get right stuck into a bit of trading with some early cash. I'm going to leave... Luckily, it's not too far to travel, so the wood should be fine for these guys. And I will assign 3 straight to this logging camp. And those 3 will give us the wood that we need to kind of keep going nice and quick. So let's go with a nice big area. And I'll end my conversation with Mr. Rival. I do love the start of this game. You know, when it just... Everything just starts to build out. It's pretty gorgeous. The reason I want the granary done pretty quickly is for this exact reason here. So that bit of food there needs to last. So hopefully the bandits don't steal my damn bread. Although we do have the fisher hut, so it's not the end of the world. But yeah, we do need to be careful. And then off the back of these two, we're going to need to kind of decide where we want our first set of houses. And I kind of want their back gardens. So let's go like this. Let's get a bit of a road going this way. And let's connect that in. So around the marketplace. And then another one coming up here. So I'm being quite gritty with my my roads at the moment, but that is fine. And the reason I'm doing that is purely going to be for the efficiency purposes. I'm not going to get the well in just yet. And my first few houses are, in fact, how close to the... you can't build. Okay. I don't think you're allowed to build down there. I wonder if I'm allowed to build this way. Doesn't like it, does it? That's fine. We'll remove these road pieces. I can build my first few houses up this way. We don't want to go on the pit, obviously. These are going to disappear as well once the houses come in. And we'll probably save a little bit of space for this. So let's bring the road this way then. And see if we can get a few on the edge here. This should be a fine spot. So first one is going to be just like that. We're going to have a few in this kind of scenario where they're just going to be singular with a pretty small zone. I'm going to try and fit it in a way that it's like that. So they're going to be goat sheds. They are going to be goat sheds. We're going to want one for carrots. So we're going to need a pretty big one. And what I'll do with the carrot one is go like this. So we're just going to need a log. Please bring that in. There it is. Boom. We'll get that one extended for a big boy there. And then I'll get the other ones ready afterwards. I love it, man. The beginning of the end. Let's get the granary sorted. Let's reduce the logging camp. And let's get the storehouse sorted. And they'll get their little marketplaces up ready for the houses. Fisherman hut I will sort afterwards. We'll go from the logging camp for that. But I will need planks. Planks are what are required now for the pens. So you need to build the pens on the houses. Yes, run out of food. But not quite. The bread's there. It just needs to go into the granary, which it is. So we're not going to die. And there's the food store. Right, planks. Let's get this nice and close. I think we're okay to have that just there. Not that close to the storehouse, but... And then firewood. That didn't take long. So just need the houses in to get the start of everything going. And then in order to get the variety really early on, we're going to get those in. The reason I'm rushing the planks is I'm going to get the church in ASAP. So we can't get clothing. So we're going to have to go down the route of that. And then after that, it'll be the firewood. And I'll try and keep all my wood kind of sections this way. Yeah, I'm just going to let all that build out at the moment. And there we go. We got our first fishies in. I think we're already going to have a good food variety once these houses are in. So, and those extra hands on the houses are going to make the world of difference. I think I'm actually going to get a bit of a double plot in on this section here. Could get a bit of a crafty one going. Yeah, that's good. Get that one in there. As I say, for these, we just need the saw pit. Let's go ahead and get one in there. Let's pause the logging camp so the houses can continue to get built. We are zooming through, you'll notice that, but we're going to go ahead and make sure these guys, production limit, 30. A reserve of 1 log in the saw pit as well. So that always has the log going in there. So we can cut the planks nice and quick. We've already got 10, 15. Thank you very much. Let's go ahead and get 2 animal pens in here. Because that doesn't cost anything yet. And then we'll just need a trading post to probably sell a little bit of firewood when we have it as well. We'll have to jump in and out of kind of getting stuff done. I'm going to wait for the fuel to go in on the houses before I flip this over. And there's the burgage plot with our carrots. So it's in April, so we should get a harvest this year on the carrots. So that's our variety of food done. I know I'm going pretty quickly, guys, but I will try and soak in little bits as we go along, as I always do. I love it. Look at this. That is gorgeous. That is definitely worthy of a screenshot right there. Cool. Enough of me pondering over all of that. We are good. So food-wise, I could probably slow down the fish already. There's 26 there. They have a bad spoilage rate, so we'll just get that going. And then what we'll do is get the woodcutter's lodge, getting some people in. And then the woodcutter lodge will make sure the work area is just over here for now. And up next, we are going to go... I'm not doing church yet because we need the logs. I'm going to try and get the trading post in, but I think we need logs, don't we? Let's go ahead and unpause that again. And you'll see in here, we've got goats and pigs. Let's go for the goats. And then we just need 5 more gold. That's where the trading post is going to come in. That and our bandit camps. Where are the bandit camps on the map? Because they are a money maker. There isn't any yet. Don't you usually start with one? Oh, it's there. So we've got a bandit camp there as well nearby. All right, let's get the expanded living space on that burgage plot for housing number 5. We'll need one more house for the level up. And I think I will get the apiaries, guys. I think that's a sensible choice. Just wait for a few more logs. I have enough regional wealth to get another thingy in, but we have actually, they're still sowing it. It's a pretty big area. We went for the different route, didn't we? So I think, have you got the fuel assigned now? You do. So what I'm going to do is once again try and bump the numbers up of stuff where we're balancing. And I'm going to go with the woodcutter's lodge is allowed to be on. But the storehouse is going to pause. And so is the granary because they have food in. So let's pause those up. Let's free up people where we can. And then timber, let's pause the saw pit. And actually, I'll put the granary back on now because of that. And there we go. Timber coming in. So we're going to go straight into trade now. And we're going to try and get this a little bit over this way. Not too far from the resources to stock it, but enough to be kind of out the way, just so I have room to build. The idea isn't in huge settlements in this. It's just getting really efficiently where we need to be. So once this is built, we're going to enable the selling of firewood. And the firewood itself, we're going to... Oh, I need to put someone in there for a start. But we are going to sell... We are going to go ahead and make sure we're limiting. We'll leave those cutting. Once the trading post comes in, we'll say once we hit over 30 firewood, you're allowed to sell the rest. That should be enough for everything we need. And one last thing to make the happiness better. Let's go ahead and get a well in. And we're going to put this right down by, to be fair, can I fit you on there? Would have been perfect. Let's just go there then. And then now those tents are gone, let's get our 5th house in. And what we're going to do is make this the blacksmith house. So blacksmith house, you're going to come in here. And then we'll have another industry house right here. The reason I do them singular is we don't want to create too much. Now it does cost a little bit more on food, but I don't think that's ever going to be a problem on this run with us being so close to this shoal of fish right here. How many planks do we have? 9. So we can go ahead and get the church in really, really quickly as well. I'm so happy with how fast this has come in. Main part is just deciding where. I think that is fine. And there we go. We got our first hide in. Now, bandits stealing. We'll be dealing with you in a moment. We are actually just building this last house will give us the point. And we're actually in a plus now because of... think down to getting our food variety in, which has been perfect. So we've got enough for all houses here just in time to get a family in, hopefully in July, and then we'll be able to push the clothing. So we'll get a separate storehouse for the clothing store. And to be fair, I think I'll do that now. So I'm just going to slow it down a second. So the plan is we separate out the two. So this storehouse here, for example, isn't going to have clothing items. So we're going to remove those from everyone here. And then this one here is only going to have clothing items. So I can control the marketplaces much more efficiently. As I say, I do plan on having a little bit of efficiency in this playthrough. So that's fine. This logging camp isn't going to stay either. It's just for the time being. So we will be moving. And to be fair, how many logs have we got? 15. Let's go ahead and move it now. Just up out the way. So we need it still close to these. I think going more... It's too steep to build, so we're not going to be able to build out this way anyway. So let's get it on this section here. But first, I want to get these guys done. So let's get a bit of priority going. Let's get highest on that trading post, and then we'll go with high on that one. Actually, higher on that burgage plot, and then we'll go for a high on that logging camp. So we get our houses done, we get our trading post done, and then the last house will be afterwards. Church can wait. It can be a slower one. And there it is. They're getting it done in the marketplace. Well done, guys. Boom. And there it is. Let's get someone straight in here then. The plan is to go ahead into the crafting materials, and we're going to go down to our firewood, and we're going to say export. Only costs 3 to unlock. However, the walking trader will buy these as well. And we're going to go to 30. They only sell for 1 a pop, but it's a good way of getting a tiny bit of gold in early on. The other better way is taking out bandit camps. Bandit camps will give us 250 straight away. Alright, there's the development point that we were waiting for. And that means we can form the militia. No problem. I know I'm going pretty quick, guys, but I have played a lot. And as always, you start with the 20 shields and 20 spears. So it makes sense to grab the spear militia. The reason I grab them is so I can take out the bandit camp pretty much straight away and get that money. So we'll let this June kind of play. We are 100% going to have a harvest this year. It's pretty... They're still trying to go for it, but we will get some. It takes a long time. When we have the 2 families in here, this will be much quicker. So don't worry. But yeah, we're due to get them in the next month either way. How many logs have we got? And how many planks have we got? We're fine there. So we're going to focus on selling up the firewood. We actually need to turn on the storehouse once more, as the houses don't have their firewood. And then we want to look into where we want to spend our first point. Hadn't quite decided. So we're obviously going to go down this route because we're going to want the deep mining. So charcoal's a no-brainer. We'll probably get in making our own helmets as well at some point. Don't think any of this is needed. Not too concerned about that. The passive meat from inside of the houses to double the amount we get from them is in advanced skinning. However, we don't want to be doing that because, or not yet anyway, because we have to go down the trapping route. It's a wasted point this early on. Once we hit large town, we've popped the achievement, so we can then flip into doing that and actually making use of this skill tree potentially. But something I want to do is probably going to be the apiary, just for the free food source. It's really sustained food source until you get into large city kind of status. And then maybe this, I don't know. I think we go apiary. Just because I like the idea of having one. And that's just another food source we can flip between. Alright, should we go see if we can take out this bandit camp? Let's get everyone ready. Get them into the right stance. And we need a bit of high ground here. So I'm going to bring them up this way. I think if I loop them round, we get the high ground here. We'll stay defensive stance because I've actually been testing a little bit on the 10 versus bandits. And because they have the higher numbers, if you push forward, the bandits then surround you and take over the top of the hill and kill you. I know it's really weird. It's a new thing, or at least a new thing for me. So yeah, I think if we come up the top, so we'll take a wide berth here and we'll get those to kind of push into us against the hill. Actually, here is good. Here is perfect. That is a bit of a hill. So probably I think that's good.
Here we go, boys.
We come a little bit closer. I am fairly certain moving downhill. Yeah, there we go. We get a good effectiveness here. So we are going to slow this down and enjoy our first battle here. Shields at the ready, whilst our town builds in the background. I'm fairly certain our first family is going to come with us as well. And the clash of iron is heard. We clearly have the better weaponry. They have just clubs and shields. We have spears and shields. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. I do believe I have the better effectiveness, but they have the numbers. So let's speed it up a tiny bit. And let's see. They're pushing us back. They've lost 3. We've lost 1. They've lost 4. When their number dwindles, I am going to push forward. I am not pushing forward until they've lost more. And there's 11. 10. 9. We're on 7. We need to kill 1 more before I push. Okay, we're dwindling here big time. See how it's changed? We shouldn't be giving ground here. We're going to end up losing. See, they've changed it. So you can't win anywhere near as effectively. That's fine. We've weakened them for the next lot. We'll still take them out. I have no worries at all because we can make our own iron. So there's 9 left. I don't know how we killed so many so quickly and then it disappeared. It's what I've been testing. This never used to happen, but it does now. It's a bit weird. I don't know if you guys have noticed. Let me know your thoughts on that one. But anyway, we'll get back to the town building at least anyway. These guys will cower over here. We'll replenish them next month and we'll be fine. We officially have the 6 families now though, so we can go ahead and work on that. So what do we want to do? Well, let's have a quick look at the resources before we decide. Still have fish. We have firewood. I think we want to try and get our clothing in just to keep our families going. We're at 50% anyway. But let's go ahead and get the tannery. And the tannery is going to squeeze in right here. It's going to be next to this one. So I think we're going to want this storehouse as a higher priority. Same with these two. So work on both of these. I think we've got enough timber to make it work. You got to be careful, by the way. The raiders will keep coming after you if you don't disband. So we're just going to disband them and they should replenish anyway. So we've got 6 in already. When they let's have a look at which houses are sad. It tells you if you click on how many days in morning. So 23 days remain. We should probably put the tools in here as well. So we'll put all the tools in there. We can't sell them yet, but we'll get rid of them because there is no use for them yet. Look at that. They made a second camp. It's really cool. It's a bit cheeky. But because they've made a second camp, there's only 9 on this one. You can now... This is another thing. I did notice this as well. You can basically die and they'll make a second one. So we're going to get 2 lots of money. So we're going to end up with 500 silver just from this. And actually it benefits us with those dying then, which is hilarious. But yeah, we won't go back out until we've got the 10. There we go. Storehouse is done. So let's go into the advanced here. Let's turn off the firewood and charcoal. Other items are fine, I think. So we mainly want clothing items. I think that's fine. And then we'll assign 1 into here. And that should give us our clothing store. And then we'll pause so we're ready to assign across. We'll get our tannery done. We have 1 hide. But we can get our first piece of clothing. Let's turn the fisherman hut back on as food levels get a little bit lower. So it shouldn't take long. You get a lot because all 3 fish, by the way. I don't know if you guys have seen it. But all 3 of the family go and fish. It's great. So it's actually a bit stronger than the other food sources because each one will bring another fish back. Look at that. 3 at a time. And it doesn't take them long. So yeah. Worth keeping in mind, guys. And there we go. Our next family is here, which we can get. To be fair, I'm not going to tan up the hides until we get another one. The main thing we want to be getting is the firewood. So we're going to need to get that one balanced so I can sell them. I can also turn on the saw pit, though, and set up a trade for those. So we're going to export. Because it's a minor trade, you can sell them without opening a trade route. Keep that in mind as well. So minor trade routes can sell instantly with the wandering trader. Major trade routes, you need to actually open the trade route before they'll use it. Now, with all of these burgage plots coming in, we need to consider more housing. And we're going to go for another carrot one over here. So we'll have... I might go slightly smaller, actually. That is a little bit too much. Let's go there. It's a good one. So that'll be quite a lot of carrots that we'll need anyway. And then as we get families in, I am going to go into mining this iron. And we've left the space perfectly for this, so I can just slap it right on there. And I think it's time we went and dealt with them. So we have 12 now, so there shouldn't be any problems with dealing with these guys. So we're going to come straight in against these. And I think, yeah, we can go and grab this one straight away. See, it's just crazy, man. We'll get them out either way, though. We ideally don't really want to lose anyone because we can actually have somewhat of a force. I am going to try and get into the smelting as soon as we get tier 2, though. So I'll be making up the iron bars and the helmets if I can. So I might put points straight into that. What I'm going to do, though, is just stand right here. We're on the hill, but I think we can push them. We should be okay. There we go. So we have 2 now. Let's go and grab both of these. Basically, what you want is another bandit camp to pop up somewhere eventually. And then when the raiders come for the year, you should be good. As I say, we'll send to nearest town. That's 121, but you will get a second lot of 121. And then we'll go get this one as well. There you go, 227. And we'll get the same again over here. And now we've got the funds in. We can go ahead and get the goats in there. We can also go ahead and get another one in here. Now, I kind of want to get pigs as well. As this one is one of the double plots, we're okay to get that. So I think this one itself, we'll use the planks to get pigs in. And then on the next batch from the goats, we'll go ahead and get in our leather as well. And then I think we'll potentially get some more. I want to get an apiary in as well, but I don't think we need to worry just yet. We have it in the back burner ready. And there we go. We got a whole bunch of planks in. I think I'm selling too many. Hold on. Let's go to 30 there. So we keep 30 in. We sell the rest. And we can go to 40 in there. So we're always working on that. And then with this extra money, we're also going to go ahead and get our hitching posts kind of going. So hitching posts, let's get them near the marketplace. Let's get 2 more over here. And then let's also move our existing over to there. As you can see, we're in a very healthy state. We're going to be selling both the firewood and the planks when we can. And there we go. We'll send resources to nearest town on the next one. We have some tired soldiers that have been out for a run, but we'll take the big cash injection of 489 right there. I think it's probably time we focus on getting this church finished so we have no more issues with families moving in. There is another bandit camp. Now we have 12. I'm going to wait for the 14, then we'll go back out to these guys as well. So we'll disband. That should get the 14. And there we go. We're making sales. We're officially in a good place. I do want this to be focused on, though. So the church is going to have to be priority here. I think we can get our pigs in, by the way. We should see these momentarily. Waiting for them to come in. I want to have a look at them. There he is. Hello. We have pigs. Very cool. So as I believe he mentioned, they're not quite the medieval or old style boars that they did used to deal with. They are more the domesticated modern day pig looking thing, but cool nonetheless. And then we've got our goats over here as well. So setup's looking really nice. Goats out by the fishing pond there. And the churchyard is in. Ah, beautiful. I'm going to be focusing on getting the build up now. So it's just going to be a case of building our population. But look at that. Absolutely glorious. Perfect. So straight away I can get carrots into that one, which is going to be for next year because we are in September. We are going to receive the harvest momentarily. We have 61 fish. Let's go ahead and pause this because that is just silly and we've got to last through the winter here. We're going to be pulling in a tiny bit of meat from the goats and pigs anyway by December. So that's good. I didn't show you the numbers, did I? So the goats give 1 meat, 1 hide every 4 months. The pigs give 2 meat every 4 months. That doubles with that skill point that you can get. So not the best. Not the best. The only thing we need to level up our houses is the clothing. So we just need our goats to kick in. And then these are going to become blacksmith smeltery things. You know, we're going to get the, what is it? Blacksmith workshop. And maybe I don't think cobbler shop's viable. We're probably going to have to buy them in. But that's okay. Let's make sure we're getting a good amount of logging in. And then we'll also consider our forestry hut. Although, I actually want to sort my housing first. We just need a bit of timber in. And I'm going to wait for that. Family's going to keep coming in anyway. I'm going to actually do a bit of an obscure one to make use of this space. There it is. Right, I'm good. I've got another house ready to accommodate everyone. Looks like people are living in these now. So all is good. As we've got spare people, let's go ahead and get a tanner on the go. So let's get one more in there. Bandit stole my 1 piece of meat. Cheers, mate. Very kind. I'm going to have to deal with that as well. That's one for another time, though. I am pretty much going to be saying that is good, I think. With next house is in, so we can accommodate everyone we need. Again, this one is going to be for pigs, so we'll get another bit of meat from that. And we're in good standing, I think. But guys, that's going to be where I end this first one out. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoy what we're going to have in this challenge. It's going to be a nice bit of a run, really. As always, though, I really appreciate you. Thumbs up if you haven't already. Do subscribe if you aren't. And check out ways to support me further in the description. As always, hope you have a fantastic day. I'll see you in the next one.